Klasky Csupo. For many children of the 90s and 2000s, this company is synonymous with our childhoods. They created some of the first cartoons for Nickelodeon, and their animation style is highly recognizable. From the adorableness that was Rugrats, to the frightfully fun of Real Monsters, to the slice-of-life style of adventures in both Rocket Power and As Told by Ginger, our King Klasky and Gabor Csupo, along with all the fine animators, writers, and directors, set our imaginations soaring during Saturday mornings. This company holds quite a few titles that would make for interesting What Was videos. But today I'm here to talk about their project with the clown king of fast food himself, and try to answer the question, what was the wacky adventures of Ronald McDonald?
Wake up, it's another day. Time to get going, why sleep when we can play? Now good morning in McDonald land. Let's see what's happening first.
Hey everyone, I'm Stitch1993 and welcome back, or welcome to another episode of What Was, where I talk about shows that have often been mostly forgotten or just not talked about as much anymore. From this point forward, I'm going to reference this show as just the Ronald McDonald Show, as the full title is a mouthful. Now, Ronald McDonald is no stranger to wacky adventures. Starting as far back as the 1970s, the McDonald commercials showed Ronald in McDonaldland going on adventures and running into characters that would soon become lifelong mascots of the franchise, such as Grimace, the Fry Kids, the Hamburglar, and Birdie, each becoming more fleshed out as the decades went on. So by the 90s, many of the McDonald areas had artwork or statues showing off such characters. And in 1998, McDonald's would try to cash in even more so with how popular these characters had become, with a line of 6 VHSs starring animated versions of Ronald and his friends, with animation by Klasky Csupo and music by Mark and Bob Mothersbaugh of Devo, who also previously composed the music for Rugrats. Each episode would begin and end with a live-action segment similar to shows like Super Mario Bros. Super Show, where we see Ronald, play either by Jack Dobke or David Hussey, depending on the episode, in his zany house interacting with his dog Sunday, a character made specifically for this show and voiced by D. Bradley Baker.
I'm gonna have to switch to sugar-free dog food. Do you think we could ever just have a normal adventure? Believe what you want, Ronald, but there's a world beyond our doors where strange and mysterious forces exist.
During each of these live-action segments, Ronald and Sunday would get video calls from the other characters from McDonaldland, who would show up as 3D CGI models on TV screens. Then Ronald and Sunday would slide through a portal and transform into their animated selves. Each video was approximately 30 minutes in length and played out similarly to many of Klasky's other shows in regard to story structure. There were 6 VHSs in total that were released across a 5-year span from 1998 to 2003. Now, since these only ever got a VHS release, I'm going to limit the story info, as I'll eventually go over these in more detail when I review them as part of my VHS Pile series. But the 6 video titles in release order were Scared Silly.
Gotta be so scared if this thing works.
Oh, it works all right.
The Legend of Grimace Island.
First Officer Sunday, have you ever in your day seen a finer ship in all the seas?
The Visitors from Outer Space.
My name is Org. Are you the leader of this planet?
Birthday World.
It's a birthday day, yeah! Fun for everyone.
Have Time Will Travel.
Rumfold? Rumfold McDumfold.
And the Monster O' McDonald Land Lock. The videos could be purchased at most McDonald locations for $3.49. In 1999, they would also get a Happy Meal coinciding with the release of some of the VHSs as a set of Lego vehicles. One of the pieces in each of the sets included one of the McDonaldland characters in the Klasky Csupo artwork style. The voice acting was superb, as it always is with Klasky Csupo shows. The notable cast included Kevin Michael Richardson, Charlie Adler, Christine Cavanaugh, Jim Cummings, and Pamela Adlon. I say this show stands right up there with other Klasky Csupo titles and is just as enjoyable to watch now as it was over 20 years ago. Thankfully, you can check them out right here on YouTube or find the VHSs in the wild pretty often and usually pretty cheap as well. Now I'll ask you what your thoughts are on this show and if you grew up with the tapes or if this was your first time finding out about Ronald and his animated crew. Until next time, thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.